French President Emmanuel Macron will conclude a star-studded three-day state visit to the UK on Thursday after a Franco-British summit being held in London today. The UK has pulled out the stops for the French leader and his wife Brigitte, who were greeted by the Prince and Princess of Wales William and Kate as they arrived in England on Tuesday, before they were whisked off to meet King Charles III and Queen Camilla in Windsor. Roads were closed in the town as the Macrons joined the royals for a carriage procession to the castle, where a glamorous state banquet was held in their honor. Keen to impress their French guests, British musical and cultural royalty, including singers Elton John and Mick Jagger, actress Kristen Scott Thomas, and former England goalkeeper Mary Earps, were among the 160 illustrious invitees at the dinner. The French president met business leaders on Wednesday and is due to hold talks with Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Thursday, in which they are expected to focus on joint priorities including migration, trade, defense, and security, the UK government said. Looming large is the thorny issue of Washington and how to handle Trump and his increasingly unwieldy and unpredictable tariffs regime, which could severely impact European and global economic growth. On Monday, Trump shared screenshots on social media of signed letters that were purportedly sent to 14 countries, including Japan, South Korea, and South Africa, telling them that they faced a steep hike in trade tariffs from August 1st, extending an initial deadline of July 9th. He then, on Wednesday, announced at least 7 more countries that would be hit with punitive duties, as well as a 50% tariff on Brazil, partly in retaliation against the current trial against former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro for his role in an alleged attempt to overturn the country's 2022 election results. Trump also announced a 50% levy on copper imports, which will begin on August 1, and signaled that more sector-specific tariffs will come soon. White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt said that further letters will be sent out in the coming days, but so far, the European Union (EU) has received nothing, leaving it in limbo over what tariffs it could face. Hopes are rising that a US-EU trade deal could be inked this week. Although how beneficial or disadvantageous it will be to Brussels remains a big unknown as Macron, who leads the bloc's second-largest economy, travels to the UK. The EU is reportedly rushing to conclude a deal with the US, possibly by the end of this week already, Holger Schmieding, chief economist at Berenberg Bank, noted Tuesday, emphasizing that major stumbling blocks remain. The EU seems to have grudgingly accepted that the current 10% US-based tariff, in addition to some sectoral tariffs, cannot be negotiated away. The EU still hopes to get some limited exemptions from these tariffs, for example for aircraft and aircraft parts, so that the overall rise in the average US tariff on imports from the EU this year will be below 10 percentage points. The US is so far threatening to impose higher tariffs than that, he said.